Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over a potential wildcard draft for Game Week 3. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment. Are you thinking of wildcarding your team this week? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off before we get into the goalkeepers, should you be wildcarding this week? A lot of teams need it, but remember we do have the international break coming up after this game week, and during that, obviously the transfer window closes and everything. So if you do wildcard this week, just remember that there could be certain signings that affect your newly wildcarded team. It's probably better to wildcard after game week 3, so you have that whole sort of international break and the rest of the transfer window to be able to react. Whereas if you lock in the wildcard now, you will not be able to do that. But it is each to their own. Maybe your team needs it. Like, I'm having an absolutely woeful season right now. I would love to wildcard this week. I'm not going to, just because I think that information is much more valuable. But I could be wildcarding in game week 3, but in game week 4, should I say. But either way, let's take a look at this potential wildcard draft. So we've got in goal Sanchez and Dubravka. I still think these are the best sort of combination of goalkeepers that you can have right now. For 9 mil, you've got a 4 mil playing goalkeeper. You can't get a cheaper goalkeeper than Dubravka. I know the fixtures are absolutely terrible with Man United away, Liverpool at home, Forest at home, City away, and then Villa away, but you may as well spend that 4 mil on a number 1 playing goalkeeper as opposed to someone that's just going to be sitting on the bench the whole time. And I know that Dubravka is going to be sitting on your bench for a lot of the season, but there are certain fixtures, you know, maybe Leeds at home or something like that, where you will play him. He has just got that clean sheet against Sunderland. So there is value in him, and he's not going to go down in price because nobody's going to get rid of him. He is just a lock in most people's teams. Sanchez is, of course, not super locked in. There are Matt Sells or somebody like Vicario or someone that you could have instead. But I think for fixtures coming up, Fulham at home, Brentford away, United away, Brighton at home, and then Liverpool at home, they're not the worst fixtures. For 5 mil, getting a guaranteed player in that Chelsea defence is pretty much worth it. Also, it's cheaper to have the Chelsea goalkeeper than a Chelsea outfield player like Cucurella, who again has been great so far this season, but for 6 mil, it is a little bit cheaper to go for somebody like Sanchez instead. But either way, those are the goalkeepers for this Game Week 3 wildcard draft. Coming up next, let's take a look at the defenders. We've gone for Aina, we've gone for Agbadou, we've gone for Senesi, we've gone for Pedro Porro, and we've also gone for Munoz as well. I think this is a decent back 5. Obviously, there's no Esteve here, which of course is a 4 mil playing Burnley defender, but as I said with Dubravka, the fixtures are absolutely terrible. He is just going to be on your bench the whole time, so he's not really going to be a reliable player. And for 0.5 mil more, you could get a decent defender with decent fixtures that, you know, if you do need to call him in from your bench, potentially could get you some points. So I've gone for Aina over Nico Williams just because I think he's been a little bit better going forward this season. He's also hit the DEFCON once, as opposed to Nico Williams, who hasn't hit it once at all, and neither, to be fair, has Murillo and Milenkovic, I don't think. And obviously they're even more expensive than Aina. So that's why I've gone for Aina. I also, you know, there's talks of us signing under the fullback and stuff. I think that would affect Williams more than Aina. I don't think it'll affect anyone. I think everybody will keep their place. I think that is our back 4. But if that player was to come in, I think it would be more for Nico Williams as opposed to Aina. Agbadou as well. You know, Wolves haven't been incredible this season, but the fixtures do change decently for, you know, a bench defender. Like, this is a player that you're not going to be playing every week, but Everton at home, Leeds at home in the next 3, and even teams like Brighton at home, not a terrible fixture where you could play him. And he's not been too bad either. I think he's actually had a DEFCON contribution once already this season. So that's why he's in there for 4.5 mil. But again, you could go for like a Newcastle defender. They have some okay fixtures coming up in the next 2. I've also gone for Senesi. Not the best fixtures coming up from a defensive standpoint with Brighton at home, Newcastle at home. But this guy is honestly unreal for DEFCON. He's already hit it twice so far this season. I think he's going under the radar in regards to that. So if you get a clean sheet for him as well, then it's going to be a big return for him. So I really like him for only 4.5 mil as well. Bournemouth do look really good as well. I really like him going forward. Pedro Porro also makes the team, just one of the best defenders to own so far this season. I know there's only been 2 game weeks and the sample size is quite small, but Spurs do look very good. 2 clean sheets, and as well as that, some of the balls that he's put into the box are absolutely ridiculous. They're just asking to be put into the back of the net. On a few set pieces, really like Porro. And then Munoz as well. Wouldn't really play him this week against Villa away, but then they've got Sunderland at home, West Ham away, which are 2 of the teams that you want to attack this season because of how bad they're playing at the moment. And I think Munoz, with how he goes forward, excellent value for money for that. But again, for 5.5 mil, maybe you downgrade somebody like an Agbadu, and then you upgrade a Munoz to a Cucurella or something like that, and then obviously instead of Sanchez you go for like Matt Sells. Like there's a lot of other kind of options you could go for if need be, but that's the back line. I think is pretty nice, so that's why I picked those players for this wildcard draft. Moving on to the midfield, we have Gakpo, Semenyo, we've got Reinders, we've got Salah, and then we've also gone for Kudus as well. The Gakpo one's a bit interesting because if Isak doesn't go to Liverpool, then he's going to be a ridiculously good option because they don't really have anybody else to play there. Like, Chiesa's not going to be starting any fixtures. He's really just going to be playing like the cup games and stuff. So I think Gakpo would be like locked in. And for 7.6 mil to have a Liverpool forward playing, you know, he's like nearly half the price of Salah. And I know that he's not going to be on penalties, but 7 mil just for a player that's on penalties. He looks more attacking as well. It looks like Liverpool are going down the left flank a lot more than the right. Like, Salah is always really wide, and you know, the assist that he got against Newcastle is just very lucky. You know, if Szoboszlai didn't dummy it, then he wouldn't have got that assist, and he wasn't really doing anything that game. He was very quiet, and it was quite similar to the first game as well. Like, yeah, he scored, but it was in the last few minutes, and you know, it was a great goal, but apart from that, he's not really done anything. I still wouldn't go against him, but I think Gakpo could be a very, very nice pick for this season. So that's why I've gone for him. Obviously, Arsenal at home is not ideal, but then you've got Burnley and Everton coming up in the next two, which are obviously two very nice fixtures. And if Isak isn't signed by Liverpool, then, you know, Gakpo I think is going to be a very good option, which is why, as I said at the start of the video, wildcarding after the or wildcarding during the international break with the transfer window ending and stuff, you will know then if Isak is going to Liverpool, and if he does, then obviously that affects this team because of Gakpo and players like that. And if he doesn't go, it also affects this team because I think if you're bringing in Gakpo, you don't want Isak to be signed because then obviously you know that Gakpo's minutes are going to be really, really good. But either way, gone for Semenyo as well. Also started the season very, very strongly. I think the fixtures from an attacking point of view are very, very good. I think it's more the defensive point of view that they're not ideal. Obviously, you'd have Semenyo playing Porro this week, which isn't ideal. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just sometimes you're going to have attackers playing defenders. Also gone for Reinders as well, just for 5.7 mil. I think the fixture is all rightish. If he keeps his spot, he's an obviously solid player, very good enabler. I've gone for Mo Salah. Nothing really needs to be said about him. Yeah, he's been a bit quiet at the start of the season, but with the fixtures coming up with, you know, Burnley away, Everton at home, he's going to be so highly owned, very highly captained. I think if you don't have him, it's going to go really badly if he does get some returns there. And I've also gone Kudus as well. I think he's also started the season very strongly. Looks very, very good in that Spurs team. A lot of things go through him as well, and I think going forward for 6.6 mil, he's going to be an absolute bargain. But either way, those are the midfielders that I would go with on a Game Week 3 wildcard draft. Finishing things off for this wildcard draft, I've gone for Ekitike, who's coming in at 8.7 mil. Gone for João Pedro, who's 7.6 mil. And I've also gone for Chris Wood, coming in at 7.7 mil. The good thing about this team is you can play either 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, depending on the players. Like, you've got 3 Liverpool players playing Arsenal this week. You probably don't want to play all of them, so maybe you bench Gakpo or maybe you bench Ekitike. And again, exact same situation with Gakpo regarding this Isak transfer. If it doesn't go through, then suddenly Ekitike becomes a ridiculously good option because they don't really have any other striker to play in that position. And then, you know, you'll have Gakpo, Ekitike and Salah most weeks, which is absolutely fantastic, you know, especially if you've got those players in your team. If Isak comes in, then maybe Ekitike gets pushed to the left, maybe he starts getting bench loads. It's one of those. So again, wildcarding now is a bit of a gamble, especially if you're going with 3 Liverpool players. But, you know, if they don't sign Isak, then you're absolutely living life. João Pedro, again, Palmer is injured, but apparently it's not as bad as once thought. So that's why he's not in this wildcard draft. He should probably be back after the international break. People are saying that Fulham's just going to be a little bit too early for him. He's gone for a scan. And yeah, like I say, it's not too bad. But yeah, if you're going to miss him for this week, you've got João Pedro to kind of fill in that Chelsea spot. And then also Chris Wood, I think definitely a decent captaincy option this week as well, with West Ham at home on penalties. Forest look very, very good attacking. And if everything can be sorted out between the manager and the owner and everything, then yeah, I think Forest players will absolutely be fine to target. But either way, that's the Game Week 3 wildcard draft. Obviously, there's no Man United players here. You could go, instead of a Munoz, you could bring in a Dogu or something like that. with Burnley at home. But again, the Man United fixtures aren't I said Dorgu, I meant Dorgu, sorry, my bad. Yeah, you could go for Dorgu instead of Munoz or something, and you know the fixtures are still okay. Like they've got Sunderland at home and Burnley at home coming up, and then they've got City away, Chelsea away, Chelsea at home, Brentford away. It's just not great fixtures. You're not really going to be playing them in any of those, but could go Dorgu instead of Agbadu if you wanted to as well. It's really how you kind of want to set your team up. Obviously, this isn't like the team that you should definitely be picking. It's just kind of like giving you options and stuff. But that is kind of an idea of a Game Week 3 wildcard draft. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll probably do a free hit draft tomorrow because I know a lot of people are free hitting this week, so they don't have to wildcard. So then they can wildcard in Game Week 4 with the information and stuff, which I also quite like as an idea, especially because we get 2 free hits, 2 wildcards, 2 triple captains this season. You've got a little bit more room for maneuver and stuff. But either way, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time,